The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tonight's show. I'm thankful to have tonight's show. This is New Era Talk, and it's with Kathy tonight because, you know, Magic Mike has been pretty invisible lately, and there's a good reason for it. He's been really busy. He's been working. He has had a lot of different sponsorships and contracts and things going on, so we're putting him on a timeout for now. Not really a bad one, but a good one. But I want to get started on tonight's show. I've got some great people on board. I'm really excited about this. But first of all, you know, because it's a new era and it's a new week, I wanted to look back in history. So on this day in 1877, Thomas Edison announced his talking machine, the phonograph. So just think of how far we've gone since 1877. Here we are on the radio. And so on Armed Radio Global, iHeart, thank you, Joe Savino. Thank you, Jim Bell. Thank you, Tremont Auto Sales. But then also on this day in 1968, the Beatles released an album called The Beatles, otherwise known as the White Album. Now, this week is Thanksgiving. In case you didn't know, it's a big week for retailers. But you know what? More importantly, it's what we want to look at with our families and everybody that's important. I don't care where you are in the world. I have a girlfriend in Germany, and she said that they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there, obviously. But you know what? I think we need to always remember what Thanksgiving is about, and that's being thankful for what we have, who we have in our lives, and what we can be doing to make a difference in other lives. I've noticed on social media a lot of friends of mine doing wonderful things for families that are less fortunate, like delivering meals. So anything that you can do to reach out and make somebody else feel better, I think is what makes Thanksgiving even more special. Now, Thanksgiving is not Thanksgiving without football. So just want you to know, my Vikings, they're, by the way, 8-2, are playing the Lions. So hopefully we'll have another win. And hold on one second. There we go. I have some people that are going to be on the show here. And we've got all that food we're going to eat. And then, of course, Black Friday. One of my favorites. I would probably be shopping from home. But let me just make sure I have everybody on the line here. Do I have you, Coach?
I am here.
All right. Do I have the champ? I don't have the champ. Do I have Terry? All right. 1 second here. I'm going to, please forgive me, everybody. I'm going to add one more person here so we can get this going. Let me see here.
Oh.
Hello, this is the champ right here, Bone Crusher. Hold on 1 second. There, now. Coach, are you there?
I am here.
All right. Champ, are you there?
Hello.
All right, okay. And I think we lost Terry. Terry, are you there? Okay, well, I'm going to keep going here. So I think everybody knows that we had James Bone Crusher Smith, World Heavyweight Champion, on the phone a couple weeks ago for the show, and he has delightfully agreed to join us again tonight because there's some really amazing things happening right now that I really think we need to share. A lot of things that I'm passionate about that I'm sure maybe a lot of you don't know, but the philanthropic side of me, being able to help people that are less fortunate, working with people on the financial services side of the house, helping them have financial literacy so they don't outlive their income. But the Champ and I were brought together by a former NFL player who, Champ, we have to have Donnell on here in a few weeks, I think. But because there's so many different levels that we connected on. But what we're going to talk about tonight is actually what I consider, and I think everybody else will, a new era in fundraising for the philanthropic side of things and also for your own personal wallet. So I've got, as you all know, the Hall of Fame Financial Company, and my goal is to provide education, additional income opportunities, and second career options for retired athletes. So this falls right in line with what's been important to me and all the people that I've been working with. So we've got a really special guest on here too. But first, Champ, can you tell me what it was about Noble 7 that got you so excited?
That question is to me?
Yes, please. Thank you, Champ.
Well, I had a chance to reunite with a friend of mine I met a few years ago, I think out in Las Vegas, but Coach Blaine Williams, and he said I could raise $1 million. He'd help me raise $1 million. I said, man, I need this. The Boxing Legends Hall of Fame Museum I'm doing. Me too. So we might do $3 million. One for me, one for Championship Legends Hall of Fame. I've been excited ever since we had that initial conversation. But I was introduced to this fundraising concept by Miss Terry Lynn. Terry Lynn and her husband came to Myrtle Beach back in June, and I met her face to face here in Myrtle Beach, and we kind of hit it off. And then when a couple things came about, she just called me, and she just, I told her, I said, Terry, I'm busy, and she just kept right on calling me. Terry, can you hear me? I said, I'm busy. She kept right on calling me. I said,
oh my goodness.
We have a listen because she's not going to stop. Get into the deal, so I got involved, and opportunity that you can take and give 3 people. Now it's $50 and get 3 people to do the same. Right. And all of a sudden, you put yourself in a position, receive donations, give, and it shall be given back to you. That concept is biblical. And I'm very excited down here in Myrtle Beach, and Miss Doreen Williams is here as well, and she's listened to the call, and we're excited about progress we're making towards our Kathy, you working with a lot of athletes, and some of those football players I know, Jim Marshall and Carl Eller and those guys. I've been in golf tournaments with those guys and been knowing them for a long time. And
small world.
Look forward to getting up there in Minnesota. Hopefully, we can get to the Super Bowl.
I think that's a really good goal to get to the Super Bowl. Hopefully, the Vikings can go to the Super Bowl too. So that would be a really good reason to be there. But so when you were talking about getting involved with this, can you tell us a little bit about your foundation, Champion for Kids? When did you start it? And why, really? What was it that you saw needed to be done?
Well, Champion for Kids, I started in 2004. I wanted to give kids a chance and encourage them to make good decisions. And we just kind of, I came about, and life was hard for me growing up on a farm. And then, boxing professional of 18 years. From Frank Bruno in London to Mike Tyson.
I think a lot of people have heard of him. You know what? So Mike Tyson, I mean, he's one of those guys that lost it all. He lost the thing. My goodness. I mean, what was it, like $400 million, and he's bankrupt?
Yeah, but I don't know how you can lose that kind of money, but I think he's made a little comeback. But we don't want to leave Coach Blaine Williams waiting.
That's right.
I'm gonna throw it back to you, Kathy. I think you should bring Coach Williams.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
The coach, just was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and bring him on up. Let him tell his story.
I will definitely do that. Thank you so much, Champ. And Coach, are you still there?
Of course I am.
Right.
I'm hanging by a thread here. I was listening to Michael Tyson, and I started scratching my ears, by the way, for some reason.
Yeah,
not funny. Hey, I get it. Not funny. I'm sorry.
You start scratching your ears. That's... Wow. If you're going to be famous for something...
It has really, really turned his life around on many levels, by the way.
Yes.
And he's making a big contribution to the youth up in Las Vegas and in many places. And Mike is a winner, and he might have lost a lot. He might have lost it all, but there's no question about it. Someone like that, surrounded by the right people, the right mentors, the right people to help, they'll always get back up on their feet, won't they?
That's exactly right. And you know what, Coach, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, so you played football. Tell me more about your career. Where did you start out? What got you there? So this is, like I said, New Era Talk. Where were you? What did you want to do?
I'll tell you, I was raised up in the farming region, like the Champ. I was raised in farming in Central California, Salinas, outside of Monterey, the lettuce capital of the world. I was a middle child of six brothers and sisters with really, I mean, I was raised in the Ozzie and Harriet life, born in '53 and raised in the '50s and '60s, and I didn't play organized sports until I was well into high school, unless you call street fighting. Maybe that was part of organized sports, but yeah. I was a scrappy little kid. At age 15, I had the privilege of traveling, and I think that traveling really opens up a person's imagination, their vision, and that sort of thing. But we moved to Australia out of California, and we bought some ranching property over there. And that's when I got involved in organized sports. I was what would have been the equivalent of a sophomore in high school. I played rugby. And I found out that I could run fast, I could hit people hard and knock them down, and I had the privilege of being one of the only Americans ever to make an all-state rugby team. We toured the country, and when I came back to the United States, of course, I went out my senior year, played football, and went on into college on a scholarship. I didn't go beyond college, but I did have a passion for coaching. I had coaches that grabbed a hold of me. I was a bit of a delinquent, as I said, and they formed me into a man in sports. Sometimes it's a military, but for a lot of us, I know for Champ, it was sports, and so I went into coaching. And in fact, I just had the wonderful honor of being put into the Collegiate Hall of Fame, where I coached in a small college in California.
That's wonderful.
And so I considered myself a much better coach than an athlete. But I think that sports, like so many things, can really help young men and young women be placed with leaders and mentors, and can carve out of the granite of their life, what could be a great future. So that's really about me. I moved out of the coaching world into the business world and did personal development training, personal growth and development. I did corporate efficiency work. I worked with a lot of companies with big sales forces. There was always an issue between the administrators and the salespeople. The administrators had such a difficult time understanding the mind of the salespeople. And I was able to bring in and work between those two groups and help production go up. And that led me, by the way, into direct selling and various areas of insurance and mortgages and real estate. And then I just got to a point where I wanted to, and what leads us to our discussion tonight with the champ, I wanted to be able to do something to take the skills that I had and the training skills that we had developed and teach people how to become more successful, not just to have more things, which is nice, by the way,
right,
but to be able to do more, to give more, and to help more, to contribute back to their community. And we used to teach people when there's a whole lot coming through, there'll be plenty sticking to you. So let's teach you how to do that. And by the way, that journey has gone on now for about 25 years. When I say that journey of teaching people to develop their own business interests, whether it's a small business or a larger business, that can create really significant cash flow, and then to give. And this last year, we made a decision to put together a very interesting hybrid business model, unlike anything. It's never been done before, what we're doing. And it matches three very sizable enterprises. One is the personal growth and development industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Oh, goodness.
If you take a look at people like John Maxwell, Anthony Robbins, and folks of this nature, multi-billion-dollar industry. And my partner, Mark Campese, and I have combined about 70 years of experience in that field, but we're surrounded by a leadership team, including James Bonecrusher Smith, people that represent thousands of years of extremely high-level experience in helping people attain peak performance personally. Second thing that we are working on is small micro-franchise or business models that people can develop in and grow a sizable income, whether it's an extra $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a year or a month, or $500,000 to $1 million or $5 million a year. And then the last component we are wrapping into it is a philanthropy model, which philanthropy, most people probably know this, but has been around since 347 BC when Plato and Aristotle were around, and they were endowing scholarships to people in academies. And the difference between philanthropy and charity, if people don't know it, charity is giving someone a glass of water so they can quench their thirst one time, or giving a man a fish so they can eat one meal. But philanthropy is drilling a well and giving a city, a county, or a nation fresh water. It's a long-term and permanent change, philanthropy, and that is the third leg of our model, is teaching people to be better people, because better people do better things for others, teaching people to be more financially successful and responsible financially, and then teaching them to become philanthropists, which until now really has been left to the elite class. So thank you for asking, and that's a short answer. You ought to hear the long one.
No, you know what, so let's touch on the philanthropic side, because, you know, with Champ, you know, with his foundation, the Champion for Kids, I mean, how do you see that helping different foundations?
Well, the beauty of giving or charity, you know, it's a bit like crowdfunding. We're not a crowdfunding model, by the way. There are some huge limitations to crowdfunding models. But crowdfunding does not limit the cause. You can gather money for whatever you want. Well, philanthropy, you can pick and choose what it is that you want to be giving money to. So when I met the Champ, I thought this is without a question, a worthwhile cause to impact these children by giving them new era heroes with this Boxing Hall of Fame that he's putting together, the Boxing Legends Hall of Fame, but also Champions for Kids. And by the way, that's representative of millions and millions of organizations out there that want to make a difference. And I'll tell you about what we call our 7 noble pillars of giving in a moment, if you like, Kathy. But,
yes, please do.
But Champ falls into with Champ still, it falls into the category of 2 areas. One is youth programs, and we have an epidemic of youth suicide going on in North America.
I know.
And frankly, all over the world. And that's because the kids are locked into these machines. They're not out getting the interfacing in real life social interaction the way they used to. And there's many other reasons, by the way. But so we made a decision to select the Champs Cause, Champion for Kids, and make it our bell cow, our first fruit organization that we would sow into.
Yes.
And then span it out to many, many thousands of other organizations for youth, like Bob Holmes, who has the one-man volleyball team. He plays volleyball, one guy against teams.
Wow.
He plays against professional athletes, you name it, and he has spoken to millions of kids in high schools and shares the truth with them, brings light to them, and he gets letters all the time of young people who were contemplating suicide and have chosen not to do it because of his impact.
Wow.
So that's how we're helping. And what we do is we create a gathering around someone, in this case around Champ, and then we build these businesses with those people,
mm-hmm.
and out of the revenue that comes in, there is a 10% tithe that goes into the fund and then ultimately is directed to the beneficiary, and again, in this case, it would be Champs Foundation. Or it may be someone listening on the call tonight, a professional athlete,
yes.
someone who's got a foundation for abused women, or maybe something about human trafficking. I mean, there's a lot of people that have histories in their past of hardship. Maybe they were on drugs. They want to do something for drug rehab.
Right.
We have a big effort going for the disabled veterans, and we include, by the way, disabled athletic veterans. How many, Kathy, you work with a lot of professional athletes.
Yes, and
How
CTE.
many of these professional football players last 4 years in the league, they're disabled,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
and they're kicked to the curb by the league.
No,
they
are.
And we talked about that today. So I consider them to be a part of the disabled veterans project that we have.
Right, and a lot of those guys, that are older, that they're the 50, 60, even 70-year-old range now. Like the Purple People Eater guys. I mean, Alan Page just retired 2 years ago. I think he just turned 72. But they didn't make the kind of money that the guys made now either. So when we're talking about disabled, not only financially, but the physical part of it, and they're seeing over and over again the CTE, the effects that's having, and, the homelessness, like the one the guy that was inducted into the Hall of Fame that you were talking about with me today, they had to find him under a bridge. One of the things with Hall of Fame Financial is a portion of the proceeds of everything that I do goes to support the foundations that support the ongoing needs of the athletes. Just like, there's different ones out there, like Coach Ditka has Gridiron Greats, and so they do things to help these guys. And it's not just them, but yeah, the vets. I've got a military background, and I have a little baby boy who's 18 that's at Fort Benning, Georgia right now. That is extremely near and dear to my heart, too. So whatever we can be doing to raise awareness and to, just provide the backing that is needed, just even for the research on all these, traumatic brain injuries and everything else.
That's exactly right. And, it's an interesting thing when you take these three components. I mention this to people all the time, Champ and Kathy, that a lot of times people think to have a successful business enterprise, they've got to come up with some incredibly clever and witty idea. And, of course, maybe they will, by the way. I always catch my clever and witty ideas when I check out the grocery counter and there's something on the counter and I thought, man, I thought about that 5 years ago. I should have done it, right? But here's something to think about. Steve Jobs started Apple. He didn't create new technology. He took existing technology and he consolidated it into a new platform, and he created a sex appeal to it, an attractiveness to it, and created a culture around it. We don't need to create new things. There are so many wonderful old things that we can take, but we need to create a culture around it. And I say we should take ourselves back in time to a culture of extraordinary excellence and create heroes for the young people and create opportunity for the people of all ages. And Kathy, I ask this question all the time. What does a professional football player that's making $4.5, $5, $10, $15 million a year, what does he do after 4 years? He blows his knee out. He's out of the league. What does he now go do to get that rush, to get that affirmation? Does he get a job with a white shirt and a tie and go fix copy machines? Really?
There's
only so many spots in the broadcasting booth at ESPN.
Right.
No, they have to find a way to redefine their life.
Yes.
And what we do at the Mentor Network, and working with guys like Champ and others, is we create mentoring programs to help them find themselves, their God-given destiny, poured into an enterprise, and then we teach them to be ultra-successful and become givers. And there is nothing better in life. Maslow said in the hierarchy of man, the highest order of self-actualization is when you are giving out of your abundance.
That is beautiful, yeah. You know what? I've noticed, I mean, there's so many of them that they go through a depression after they leave, 3 or 4, or 13 years, doesn't matter. It's like, wow, when we just think of their pro career, think about that. They had their college, they had high school, they had, Pee Wee, Pop Warner, all that. So that's been their whole life. So being able to mentor them and help them continue to work on their passions and most of them that I know, Coach and Champ, are the ones, they want to give back. They want to work with the kids. They want to give them the same opportunities that they were given and do it in a way where they do feel that rush. Because I think that self-feeling right there is the biggest, is, when you're helping somebody, that's where you feel the best about yourself.
It's an interesting thing. Here we are with James Bonecrusher Smith. I mean, when you read his bio, Kathy, as you know,
yes,
he's like the most unlikely guy to become a world champion boxer, right? Farm boy. You just go in there. Everybody should go on and Google him and read about it. It's phenomenal. And yet here he does. He goes on through all the adversity. And he becomes the heavyweight champion of the world in 1986. I mean, it's phenomenal. You think about all the people that had to be weeded out to find that one guy that took the belt.
Exactly.
And
how
I'm
long?
kind of curious.
Did you see how long?
How James, when these athletes of that stature, Champ, get out of a sport, I think it's important that they are taught how to pour themselves into the lives of other people, get their eyes off of themselves, and their sense of that void that they might have, and pour whatever it was that made them a champion into the lives of other people. Kathy, I find myself highly curious about that. I'm wondering, how James did that himself.
Yeah, Champ, can you help us out with that? Tell us how you got through that yourself. Are you there? There he is. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the question is, how did I do what?
How did you just reinvent yourself after your career? I mean, what was it, because so many guys are out there trying to figure out what they want to do next.
Well, I did several different network marketing opportunities. I sold life insurance with A.L. Williams, Primerica. I did Excel Telecommunications. I did a lot of different things, and always, and some people kind of shy away from network marketing because they don't understand what it is. Basically, what it is showing some love to your neighbor and sharing some information with them, and we do that all the time.
Right.
But when you say network marketing, they shy away from it. But we network market all the time. All it is sharing information, then supporting them, and then getting paid to do that.
Right.
That's what network marketing is. So I said, well, if that's what it is, I can do it. Well, that's what I do.
That is great. That is great. You know, I had this question earlier for Terry. I don't know. We lost Terry somewhere along the line, so I think we're going to bring Terry on next week. I asked her earlier today, though, when I was talking to her, and it's like, you know, it seems like network marketing, multi-level marketing seems to have a bad, you know, taste in people's mouth for some reason. Can you guys, you know, Coach or Champ, just kind of give me an idea? Why would they? I mean, what is that about? What, you know, like Amway?
That's an easy answer that I could give you.
Okay, I like easy. Good. Then I can be tested.
Well, I am a big believer as an ex-coach in simplicity. Keep it system simple. Here's the deal. Tell me a career where if someone can fog a mirror, they could have just got out of San Quentin last week, and they can sign up in a network marketing business and be off and running, right?
Right.
But the challenge of that is, as wonderful as that is, you can get in maybe in a network marketing. In ours, $50, but in others, you know, it might be $500 or $1,500. That's still not considered to be a business capital,
right?
And so what happens? You have these millions and millions of people a week are signing up in a network marketing company, and they don't have a clue what they're doing. They've never owned a business. They've never been in a business that they had to be self-reliant. They don't know how to communicate well with people. Some of them are real rough, boy. That they thought How to Win Friends and Influence People was a circus act. and so they get into the network marketing space, and they go to a meeting, and they have someone that's got a nice watch or a nice ring, and they've got they tell a story, they show a video of a nice lifestyle, and they get so excited, they immediately run out. Now, this is a person that has never done anything in marketing. They're working as a automotive technician, mm-hmm. or they're a manager at a fast food restaurant, or they're an accountant, or they're whatever. And now they run out to their friends, family, and acquaintances, and they butcher them with their excitement. They have this almost psychotic type of energy, right?
Right.
And they're not taught any skills. And they go out there, and in sales training, we call it they puke all over their prospects, right?
Exactly, yes.
And the people are saying, oh, back off just a little bit. And I always say in our trainings, listen, don't get up in their face and all in their space. They do not like it. It repels them. But that is, by the way, as I'm talking, anybody that's run into one of these crazy lunatics in network marketing, they see that, and they say, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to be perceived by my friends like that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, some naive, wonderful, beautiful person comes into a network marketing company, and someone sells them the dream and tells them, I'm going to help you fulfill your dream and goal. They get their money, and that's the last official act. The idea of leadership or serving that person or mentoring that person never occurred to them. And that person put their $500 or $5,000 out and lost it. Maybe it's a guy and his wife's telling him what a loser he is for doing that, or his friends are making fun of him, and that's his experience. And some people have tried that. One time was not enough. They tried it 2 or 3 times and had that very, very unpleasant experience. What I just described to you, Kathy, is about 85 to 90% of the experiences people have had that came into network marketing.
Oh, right.
And that's why it's so critical that people pick an organization of servant leaders like the Champ who understand what it's like to make a commitment and keep a commitment to help lead and guide the people. Champ, what do you think? What do you think the biggest challenge is and why that stigma is out there?
Well, I agree with what you said, but I would like to add, too, we know, Coach and Kathy, we have to learn. So it's a learning curve. So,
right.
You know what I do is, while you're learning, you're talking. And that's part of the learning as well.
And I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You broke up a little bit.
You hear me better now?
Yes.
While you're learning, new person, while you're learning, listen. You know, listening, I mean, God gave us 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason.
Right.
We're supposed to listen twice as much as we talk. And then you get to the point, you know, where you'll learn it and you'll learn what to say. But in the beginning, let that upline do the talking, do the explaining until you get it, until you start getting some people on your team. And then that's a quick way to get your team going.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. No, I think...
You agree with that, Joe?
You know, I was just thinking about it. That is actually the best. You know, I call that training 101. And the other thing, we've all heard this, Kathy.
Uh-huh.
People and personalities are not duplicatable. I mean, I'll prove it to you. James Bone Crusher Smith could probably still get in the ring and whip about 99% of the people in the population.
I believe it.
I mean, I'm just telling you. You take a look at a guy like Mike Tyson when he was in his prime. He was like watching a Black Panther go in there and devour his opponent, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it was frightening almost to watch him go to work on his opponents. And by the way, James was no different when they got in the ring, but they became that competitive. So it's not duplicatable.
No.
Don't try it. These things should not be tried on the weekend at home. Well, same thing in marketing and sales, by the way. I mean, Kathy, you're a pro. But you know what? Most people, if you ask them, what are the most unpleasant careers to think about going into, they would say things like cleaning septic systems and, you know, being a target for a knife thrower or being a salesperson.
An insurance salesman, too, especially insurance sales.
And why is that? Because people do not have the confidence to create a presentation and do it in a way that they can bring people to a conclusion. We call that a close.
Right.
They are uncomfortable with that. So what we say is people and personalities are not duplicatable, but systems and tools are.
Exactly.
And the champ will tell you, in our organization, we put tools together that we can put in the hands of someone who cannot put a sentence together, that is timid or shy, and the idea of doing a follow-up makes them almost nauseous. We can put a tool in the form of a website together that they can share with people and just say, you have got to take a look at this information, and then they're done. And the tool actually notifies a mentor to help follow up with them, so they don't even need to do the follow-up on their own. Like James says, let a skilled professional do it. So we really set ourselves apart in our mentor network by the nature of these tools that are empowerment tools to help people.
That's so. We haven't really gotten into what exactly. I mean, what? So, if somebody were to say, "What do I need to do? Where do I need to go to find out more about this?" We're not telling them where to go, what to do.
No, we're not telling them that. That's a shame when you think about it. I mean, they might want to come and stampede right now. Who wouldn't want to? I mean, in our model, when you think about it, in our model, we have a capital investment of one purchase for $50. We have no inventory, no product to try to go out and pitch your friends on, no product demonstrations.
I don't have to have product on hand? I don't need that
product on hand. No monthly renewable auto ship. You don't need to have an office. You don't need to have a business license. You know what you need? You need to have $50 and some sort of dream or reason to want to have a better future. And with us, we tell people, if you don't want to help other people, we are not the culture for you. This is a culture of people that want to be successful so that they can make a difference in the lives of other people. We're looking for leadership quality people, not people that want to take advantage of other people. And I'll tell you something, that's all people need to do. And then what they do is they end up making 3 sales for $50 each. And that sale, by the way, is a beautiful digital business card that helps expand their business. And it's worth way more than $50. If they make 3 sales of $50 with our help, and most people do that in the first day, 2 or 3, They're qualified to earn commissions throughout our system, by the way. Qualified to earn commissions throughout our systems. And I'll tell you something, they can, by the way, go through 3 payment matrices that we have, and literally with a little group of 39 people, we can show them how to generate $60,000, $80,000, $90,000. And if there's someone of influence, or they grow in their ability to market, and we use the online forum very well, we teach people to do that, they can generate $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 pretty quickly. And by the way, while that's happening, 10% is going into what we call the 7 pillars of noble giving, and we are funding these causes that we have, whether it's innocent victims, the victims of child abuse or human trafficking, or the disabled vets or the disabled athletes, or maybe we have a fund that is for animal abuse causes.
Wow.
We have a fund for medical research as well as what we call alternative or natural health discoveries. We have 7 funds, Kathy, that we have at the table. We have an overseer committee that makes certain that every dollar is accounted for and gets to those things. How about disaster relief? Have we seen mega disasters in the last year around the United States? And by the way, we are global.
Right.
So Mexico City had that terrible earthquake. The Caribbean was destroyed, by the way, by the hurricanes.
Right.
So we're actively involved in helping those things. And then my nearest and dearest and my favorite is the youth programs. I mean, we need to get to the ball in the lives of these kids that range between age 6 and 13, and we need to capture their vision now, give them heroes and mentors now, and teach them that Alexander the Great conquered the world by the age of 18, but he got started with Aristotle when he was 9. And we teach them, white, black, every tongue, every tribe, every background, we teach them that there is greatness inside of them, and we drive money to those causes. So you can tell I get a little bit amped up, but that is our business model.
That gets me.
So if someone hears this and says, yeah, but can you be more specific? I'd be more specific about something called the dream.
Right.
Or the vision. You cannot quantify it. So here's how specific I'll get. The name of our company is Noble 7 Impact Network. And what we do is we teach people how to generate somewhere between $50,000 and $500,000 in their first 2 to 3 years or less. And then we show them how to manage their life with good financial practice and become a giver to the community that is most important to them. And in the process, we hope to make long-term friends that will be remaining with us forever, and I mean forever. So this is why the attraction to James Bone Crusher Smith. This is why the attraction, Kathy, to people of your caliber, and that's why the attraction of my partner, Mark, and I. So how would people find out about this? I would say this, that right now, because we're putting the new website together and it's coming up, I think that you and James should give out an email or contact method that they can reach out to you guys, and then what we'll do is we'll send them some direct contact materials and answer their questions. And literally, we are launching a new campaign next Monday after Thanksgiving, and we call this the $1 billion campaign. Our goal is in this campaign to raise $1 billion for charities in the next 36 months, and people should get on board with that quickly, because the way we build it is the organizations and the individuals are put into a structure where the first people in have an absolute advantage.
That's okay. That's perfect. And you know what? That's really fitting too, Coach, because that's Cyber Monday. So what? I kind of like to shop. So that everybody, I mean, you can definitely contact me, Kathy, Cathy, at halloffamefinancial.com. You can go to halloffamefinancial.com to my website. You can go to the Facebook page, New Era Talk with Mike and Kathy. Just reach out and we'll be happy to get that information to you. If you want to get on a call with any of us, I mean, I'm happy to get any of that set up. But what we're doing here is we're making changes. It's a new era. And I also want to touch base on this too, Coach and Champ. When I'm talking new era in a financial side of it, tell me the financial avenue. Explain that a little bit. The Bitcoin, what I'm leading towards with the little bit. Because a lot of people aren't really aware of
Kathy, are you asking us to talk about our relationship with Bitcoin?
Well, right, how that's, what people need to do. I mean, can you explain that a little bit?
Here's the deal is that I'm just going to say this over the air to anybody listening to this, or perhaps you're listening to a recording. This show obviously is on the 21st of November, 2017. By the way, it's a great time to consider this, so you've got something more to be given thanks to, right? Yes. Or thanks for. But let me just say to everybody, we do not have a sales pitch here. Obviously, I'm not trying to sell you anything. To anybody on this except one concept, I'm trying to sell you on you. To believe that God put you on this planet to make a difference in the lives of other people. And by the way, the last time I checked, the people that are having the biggest impact are the people that are financially well off. So they're able not only put time in, but they're able to put finances into projects. James Bone Crusher Smith said, I want to build this Boxing Legends Hall of Fame. I need $1 million. I said, well, you're a good-looking guy. You're a world champion boxer. Just smile, and it should happen, right? He said, no, I need the money. I said, well, let's make it happen, then you'll smile more. So, folks, we want you to be sold on you, to give yourself a shot again. And so what we will do, if you respond to Kathy to get through to one of those emails, we will individually provide you with information to look at, to ask questions. But I'm going to tell everybody this. Our attorney, Jason Head, he was the chief legal counsel for an international ministry called Christ for the Nations. He is a former SEC attorney, brilliant guy. I asked him categorically, what is it that we are? Is this a direct selling? Is this a networking? What is it? He said, it is a model that has never been done before. What you guys are doing is not in any category before, ever been done before. What we are,
it's a new era.
We are a hybrid that teaches people about personal growth and development and professional development and human relational skills. Everything from your relationship with the person in the mirror, to your spouse, to your children, to your friends, to your business dealings, and so forth, all the way up to how to negotiate deals and change your life financially, including becoming debt-free. Number two, we are an organization that teaches the skills of business and helps you develop a successful enterprise. And we consider successful making over $50,000 to $100,000 a year part-time from home. And number three, we tell people if you're going to be a part of our organization, you must learn to be a giver. The Bible is clear about it. You need to take 10%, the tithe, and you need to give it and sow it into things, and then you will be blessed surely. You can't outgive the greatest giver. So we teach all those things. We're not shy about what our faith is, by the way, and we believe in those principles. So, Kathy, here's what I want to say. If they reach out to you,
yes,
we will make the time to answer all the questions, orientate them, and let them make a quality decision. All I'm going to say is that we are opening the door to this new campaign, this wonderful $1 billion crusade in the next 3 years to give $1 billion to these charities that we're talking about. And they can be in early at the beginning. And because we are a team build concept, everybody inherently knows if they can come in the early stages, they can have a benefit on all the other hundreds of thousands that we bring in globally. So respond to Kathy's call. Get through to her and let us have a conversation. And you can make a decision. But here's what I would say. Holidays of 2018 and of 2017 and the new year of 2018 can change everything about your life on every level, including financially.
That's wonderful. Now, there's so much, everybody, Thanksgiving is coming up. This is another reason to be thankful. You heard about this. You heard what Coach said. You heard what Champ said. And I want to ask both of you, what are your Thanksgiving plans anyway? Champ, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Hang around.
around Myrtle Beach.
Have some turkey. What you doing?
Going to my brother's. I got 2 out of my 3 kids here, and it's my first Thanksgiving without my youngest. So I'm a little sad, but I'm happy that he's serving our country and making it, safe for us to be able to celebrate our family time. But he'll be here for Christmas. Coach, how about you?
Hey, listen, I want to be with both of you, by the way. I want to be out at Myrtle Beach. I live up in Idaho, and we're coming under a lot of snow right now, so I want to go out to Myrtle Beach and wear a pair of shorts and a T-shirt and have some deep-fried turkey with the champ.
Well, let's go.
But what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be out here with Brooke and my 2 kids that are still at home. We're going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, and we're going to go on about a 4-hour horseback ride in the snow.
I'm jealous. That's what I love.
And so that's our Thanksgiving, by the way.
Beautiful. What a blessing. I want to see pictures. That sounds so amazing.
We will send you pictures. We'll come back and we'll tell everybody if we lost anybody up in the mountains.
Oh, my goodness. No, I used to have horses. What a blessing.
And we got to get you up here, champ.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get your old farm boy butt on one of these Clydesdales. I got horses built for guys like you. I've got these Budweiser beer horses up here.
I love it.
Wow.
You should bring him here for the Super Bowl. He can ride them.
I would love it. Yeah, I love it.
Well, yeah, you got to come here for the Super Bowl in February.
This has been a lot of fun, Kathy. I have sure enjoyed myself.
So blessed to be able to get to know you and have you on the show tonight and have Champ. And I just feel awful that we lost Terry somewhere along the line. But we're all here, and I'm just really thankful that we have this opportunity, because 2018 is going to be amazing. So many blessings are going to happen for so many with every level of this, and with all of the end recipients being, the kids, people that need our help. And I think that's where we're going to be making the biggest difference. Make the difference in people's lives, but we're going to really be making a difference for the people that need our help. And that's what I love, absolutely love. But both of you, thank you so much. And I guess that's it. It's a new era, and I'm really excited to go forward with both of you.
Kathy, thank you. And hey, Champ, I'm going to be giving you a call tomorrow. I want to get you. I don't know if you know it, Kathy. Champ is an ordained minister.
I do.
And Champ, I want to see if you're able to Saturday get on our call and lead a bit of our prayer time on that call Saturday.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I'll give you a call tomorrow. And Kathy, thank you so much. And to all the listeners, thank you for tuning in. And I want to encourage you to support this show. It's going to change lives on many, many levels.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And I'm going to just say again to both of you, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. Goodbye now.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
All right, everybody. So once again, it is Tuesday, November 21st, 2017, beginning of a new era. Be looking for what we were just talking about tonight to change lives. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a happy and safe and blessed Thanksgiving. Take care.
What y'all